There are three types of grant available from the local county council to enable people to stay in their own houses, particularly people who are ill or elderly, to stay in their own houses rather than having to go into a nursing home or whatever. They're all means tested, and there's a maximum payable in each case, but I won't complicate the issue by going into all sorts of figures. They can be easily discovered, and anybody who has any queries, they can feel free to contact me. Basically, there are three types. First is the Housing Adaptation Grant. That's the bigger grant for bigger jobs, like an extension, a downstairs bathroom, etc. So that's one type. The other type of grant would be the housing aid for the older people, or housing aid for the elderly. In order to qualify for that, the applicant must be at least 66 years of age, and there's a lower maximum figure for that type of grant. It's only for homeowners, we'll say. Even if you've rented the property, you won't be able to apply for that grant. It's only for where you actually own your home. It deals with things like, repairs, rewiring, replacing the roof, etc. That's that type. And the final type of grant is a smaller type of grant. It's known as the housing it's known as the Housing Adaptation Grant for older people. It's for small jobs like grab rails, changing a shower, etc., a ramp, etc. As I say, there are income limits and there are maximum amounts for each of those grants. I don't want to go into all those figures because it complicates things, but if anybody has any queries or any questions or needs any assistance in relation to any of those grants, please feel free to contact me. Now, I have to mention that in addition to those, the SEAI have announced a series of grants which include grants for doors, windows, heat pumps, etc. There's no means test on those, but there are other conditions which would have to be met in order to qualify. Sometimes it might be useful to look at those if for some reason you fall outside the requirements to get a grant from the local authority. The SEI grants are less generous, but I just want to remind people that they're actually there.